Oh, you both have buns. I'm so sorry. Normally, I wish that I knew people's names. Why don't you both ask your questions, because then I know we have to wrap up. So please both ask your questions and I'll respond.
3 years old. You were talking about your mother writing that last check to the student loan people. I will probably go in my grave still owing the student loans. I have a 14-year-old daughter who is about, she's only a few years off from college, and I know that she's got to have college in order to do well in this world. And I'm terrified about what's going to happen in regards to both me and my loan and her and what will happen, because there's no way that I can afford to send her, maybe not even the state schools, the way things stand right now. And so I really want that for her, and it's so important to me. I mean, it's probably my number, education and what you do, what your mother does with student loans is probably the #1 issue for me.
I know the lyrics in Sarasota, girl. I grew up in New Jersey, so I know how she was school by school, just make sure that us, people with low incomes, had lunch and had everything. So did your dad. I feel very bad, and I've always been, I'm New Yorker, but I'm now on Ohio.
Thank you, and thank you for sharing your story and your daughter's story. I am asked about college and graduate school affordability maybe more than any other question. And I think that's understandable given that we have more than 40 million Americans who have now more than $1.2 trillion of student loan debt. Right, so this is not a small issue, this is a massive challenge in our country, and it has to be the focus of the next president. So my mom thinks we have to do a few things. One, for people who've been making their student loan payments for 20 years, the remainder should be forgiven. Right? If you have been doing this for 20 years and you have upheld your end of the bargain, the remainder should be forgiven. That everyone should be able to be in an income contingency repayment plan, and that federal student loans should be reset to the lowest interest rate. That's particularly important now because interest rates are low. And we should pass a law banning the federal government from being in the business of profiting off of students.
That's right. That's right.
And then looking forward for your daughter, my mom thinks that we need to have what she's called a new college compact. That everyone who comes from a family of $125,000 or less, that's more than 85% of families here in Ohio, should be able to go to public colleges or universities tuition free. And that anyone should be able to go to community college tuition free. And the federal government should make investments to help that happen. She does, though, expect states, not naming any names, but she does expect states to stop cutting funding for public education. So she hopes that over time states will again invest, but she at least expects states to stop cutting funding. And that's not only happened recently in Ohio, in the last 4 years it's happened in almost every state across our country. So we need to realize that so many of the smartest investments that we can make are really the right investments for us to be making. Particularly when we think about education, whether that's supporting paid family and medical leave, because my 4-month-old son is already being educated and absorbing whatever's happening around the world to him, all the way through to graduate school accessibility. And we need a president who understands how we can't just do one of those things, we have to do all those things. So yet again, it's just why I'm so grateful to be my mom's daughter and to be able to advocate on her behalf. But to kind of end where we began, we do need your help. So please, over the next 13 days, anyone that you can talk to, we've made more than 4.5 million calls here in Ohio. So talking to strangers, family, friends, please just don't let anyone think it's okay to stay on the sidelines in this election, because everything is at stake. Thank you all so much. Thank you to all our organizers, all of us here. Thank you for all the